What's up, TW fans? Jake here with this week's episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. We're getting into the middle of May, starting to warm up, get really hot in some areas. Summertime fishing is about to be upon us. Unfortunately, pleasure boaters are probably out in full force as well. But that's not going to keep all of us off the water. If you're getting out there, getting some fishing in, we got a bunch of really hot baits for you today. First thing we got is a new reel, actually, from KastKing. Really slick looking reel. Pull it out of the package, that flat gunmetal kind of look to it with the purple accents. One of the sweetest reels I've seen in a long time. This is the new MG12 Elite reel. When you pull it out, you can barely feel like you even have anything in your hand. Ultra lightweight. I believe it comes in at 4.8 ounces. Incredibly lightweight, magnesium frame, magnesium side plates, carbon fiber handle. Just can't explain how light this reel is and how compact it feels in your hand. Really small spool in it. It holds about 110 yards at 8-pound. Got kind of a smaller knobs on the end here, but like I said, super small, super compact. It's got an 11 bearing system in the inside, so it's incredibly smooth. Probably not the reel I'm gonna spool up with 65-pound braid and start punching 2-ounce weights through the mats. But this is gonna be a phenomenal reel for maybe throwing like your light Texas rigs, small finesse jigs, little swim baits, small crankbaits, jerk baits, all kinds of stuff like that. That's where this reel is gonna excel. Super phenomenal reel. If you need something for kind of that, 10 to 15-pound line class, that's going to be one you want to check out there from KastKing. All right, another kind of reel accessory here. This is from a company called G-Nius. This is their BHK hook keepers. So there's a bunch of different ones that we have on the website, different variations of these hook keepers. So check them out on tacklewarehouse.com. And I rigged one up here for you to show you kind of how you put it on. So these little accessories, they come in this little pack. We have them in like horizontal and vertical, depending on the orientation that you want. And you take one of the screws basically out of the gearbox of your reel and you install that. Depending on the reel, it could be on the inside, it can be on the outside, and now you've got a hook keeper on your reel. So if you got some of those rods that don't have a hook keeper, this is a great option. Or if you're not happy with the hook keeper that's on your rod, another great option as well. One of the slickest little products I've seen in a long time. When this thing came in, there was multiple guys in the warehouse that bought some immediately because it's such a useful tool. And if you have a reel that's got that screw on the inside, it really tucks that bait nice and close to the rod, keeps it out of the way. But just a slick product. We have them for casting and spinning reels as well. So if you're needing a new keeper system for one of your setups, check those out from G-Nius. Couple other things we got from G-Nius. We got their spinnerbait blade attachment, and then we got their school spinnerbait blade attachment. So a couple unique little tools. On the spinnerbait blade, it's just an arm with 4 blades on it, and as you can see there, snaps right onto a spinnerbait. So now you're turning your spinnerbait basically into a mini umbrella rig. Something really cool. Just gonna give that spinnerbait a little bit different look, a little bit more vibration, more flash. Gonna be great for those places that have a lot of hook restrictions. So if you're only limited to, 3 hooks, 1 hook, 1 hook, 2 hooks, you don't have to worry about running 5 baits, but you still want that big profile, the additional blades and flash. That's a really cool thing to throw in the tackle box, kind of just give your spinnerbaits a different look. And then with the school attachment, it's basically 2 of those arms put together, linked here in the middle. Then you have an arm up here on the top where you tie up, and then on the back here, you can rig up just about whatever you want. We just threw a swim bait on there just to show you guys kind of what it looks like. So it kind of looks like a small bait fish, maybe chasing like a school of fry or something. Especially this time of the year, if you're farther up north or if you have a lot of fry garters this time of the year, this is going to be something that really triggers some of those fry guarding fish to bite. All right, now let's get into some frogs here. So summertime, one of the best times of the year to start frog fishing. This is from Livetarget. We've been waiting for this thing since ICAST. This is their new Livetarget Ultimate Frog. Really cool design. If you go down the frog page, you look at all the different hollow bodies out there, about 90% of them are just about the same. You have a standard hollow body with the skirted legs. This is obviously much different than that. The underwater footage and the kind of above water footage of this frog is absolutely insane. So when it sits on the surface, it has those nice big legs, really mimics the actual legs of a frog versus just the skirted material. And then when you twitch this frog, it'll actually dive underneath the surface and these legs will kick and then retract just like a real frog. It's one of the coolest looking frog baits I've seen in a long time. And this frog also gives you multiple options in one. You can fish it over the top of lily pads and over the top of mats, and it rides right over that stuff just like a hollow body. But then when you get into that open water situation, you're going to have a much more natural action, and it's just going to kick and just do something different than all the other frogs that are up there either popping or walking on the surface. So new frog, definitely going to have to try it. It does come with a set of replacement legs in the package as well. All right, new wake bait from Jackall. This is the Jackall Blastbone Junior wake bait. You know, smaller, more compact than the original Blastbone. It's still a 6-inch bait, so you're still going to catch great big fish on it. But this 6-inch model, it weighs an ounce. It just gives a more appeal to a wider spectrum of fish. So it's not as big and as massive as the original Blastbone. This one is going to get you a lot more of those, 1-2 pound bites, pond fish, whatever. Everything will eat this size of bait. Single jointed design, big bill on there, so when it swims, it that back end kicks and swings, and that bill, it just produces pushes a tremendous amount of water and just gets a nice big V wake in action off it. On the back, it's got that soft plastic tail kind of embedded into the body, so that tail is just going to give you a little bit more natural, swimming motion up there on the surface. And then 2 sticky, sharp Teflon coated hooks on there. Most Jackall hooks have those really, really sharp hooks on there. Great bait for early in the morning, late in the evening during this time of the year. All right, another bait here from Lucky Craft. Now I know this isn't new. We just got this back in a tackle warehouse, so before the keyboard warriors go off and relax here for a second, we got the new, the BDS Magic. So the BDS series of crankbaits is one of the best crankbaits, best series of square bills ever created. Kelly Jordan just won a major tournament on the BDS 2. This is the BDS Magic 2.2. Now what's unique about this BDS out of all the other BDS is it's kind of an in-between. So if you're familiar with that lineup, this BDS 2.2 Magic has got the same body shape as the BDS 3, which is kind of a longer, more slender profile than say your BDS 2 and 4. So this bait, it's really good for fishing through grass. You can rip it through submerged vegetation, do all kinds of stuff like that. But it's just a little bit smaller profile than the BDS 3. So this one only comes in at 2 1/4, and it weighs 3/8 of an ounce versus the BDS 3 comes in at 3 inches, weighs 1/2 ounce. So just that profile, just down in a smaller package, and not as buoyant as the BDS 2 and 4, which are smaller, fatter, wider baits that really fish a lot better around wood and heavy cover like that because they're more buoyant and they bounce off better. This is one of the best crankbaits, like I said, out there on the market. If you've been waiting for them to come back, we know we were all super stoked when we finally got that whole BDS series back into stock at Tackle Warehouse. All kinds of the old colors. Make sure to check them out on tacklewarehouse.com. All right, let's go into some soft plastics. This first series here is by Rabid Baits. This first one here is the Rab Shad. Totally unique bait. It's just a different take on your soft plastic jerk bait. It does have a more pronounced kind of shad profile to it. It does have a nice belly slot on there, so you can rig 3/0, 4/0 EWG. It's going to hold that really well. And you can fish this thing just like how you would any kind of fluke or other soft jerk bait. It's going to dart, twitch around, get that nice erratic action. It does have some segmented body sections here, so it allows that bait to move and really dart side to side. Another thing this bait's is going to be really good for is throwing on like a scrounger head or something like that. There's some underwater footage of this on a scrounger head, and it looks phenomenal. But different than any other the soft plastic jerk baits out there is this hair tail on the end. That natural hair on there is just going to give you that secondary action that most soft plastics aren't going to give you. So when you stop this bait and pause it, especially when you're fishing it weightless on just a hook, when that bait's sinking, that hair on the back is going to, quiver and produce a little bit of action where your traditional soft plastic forktail wouldn't. Just something different. Try it out. The fish have never seen those before. Just going to give you those, get you those bites when it's a little bit tough out there. Now they've also implemented that same technology into a Craw. So their Craw bait, super small, compact. What I like about it is it's flat on the back, and this thing's going to match up really well on a net head or a small jig head. But there's no reason you couldn't fish this thing on a small finesse jig with a skirt on it as well. So the body, really natural. It has a little side legs, looks just like a little crawfish. It is buoyant on the pincher, so when it hits the bottom, it does stand up. And same thing, just a little bit of current, a little bit of water movement is gonna move those little bits of hairs and just look more natural in the water and help trigger some of those bites when the fishing is tough. If you got clear water or highly pressured fish, that might be something you wanna check out. All right, from Toad Thumper, we got a few different baits here. The first one here is their Craw gill. So, you know, really versatile creature bait, flip it, pitch it, put it on the back of a jig, ton of different stuff you can do with this bait. What I like about it is it's real wide, but it's heavy ribbed. So you're not gonna have any problems with it slipping in and out of cover. When fish bite it, you're not gonna have a problem with them getting the whole bait in their mouth and getting a good hook set. Now the middle of it is solid and it's kind of flat, so it's gonna hold your hook in there really well. Up on the head, they do have a little bit of extra plastic that's kind of flared out, so it's gonna hold those flipping hooks really, really well. Down on the pincher is gonna get great kicking action out of it. So if you're looking for new flipping bait, you know, now's the time to be out with a flipping stick in your hand. That new Craw gill is gonna get you some bites. And if you're thinking about doing some punching, I think this one is gonna be a key punching bait this summer. So this is their new Bad Craw. And on the body, really small, you know, streamlined design. It's got that reverse ribbing on it, so it's gonna push a bunch of water. And then those legs right there, they fold right in, so it's gonna slip through cover really well. So that bottom end will match up with a bullet weight really well. And then when it gets down below the surface, those claws have just enough body here on the end, so you're gonna get just a tiny bit of kicking action. You know, not an overpowering big flapping action, but not just like a dead stick bait. So it's gonna be right there in between. It looks great. They got some phenomenal colors, so if you can put this on the back of a jig or something like that too if you want to. But I think right now, put it on a punching rod, 65-pound braid, big 1.5 ounce weight, and punch those mats where all the fish are hiding right now this time of the year. All right, we're gonna wrap it up with some new hot weather clothing from Simms. So the first one here is their Challenger Solar Tee. So this is made out of their Solar Flex material that Simms has had around for years and years and years, gives you UPF 50 protection. But they came out with this Challenger Solar Tee because a lot of guys were, you know, just wanting a plain t-shirt versus the full long sleeve with a hood. Not everyone wants to wear the full long sleeve in the summertime. You know, even though it is keeping you protected from the sun, some people just wanted a short sleeve option. Now Simms has got you covered. On the back here, the material is perforated, so you get a lot of airflow. So we got in this camo black pattern, we got it in a blue pattern as well. So if you're looking for just a t-shirt, but made out of that Solar Flex material, Simms got you covered with that one. This one here is their new, well, last year's ICAST Best of Show Warm Weather Technical Apparel winner. I know it's a mouthful there. So this is their Guide Cooling Long Sleeve Hoodie. This is a really cool hoodie, and you can feel it. Why they call it the Guide Cooling Hoodie is when you touch this material, it's actually cool to the touch, and that's technology that they've implemented. It's a proprietary technology that's implemented at the construction of the yarn for this fabric. So it's not like a spray-on coating that's gonna wash off after a few washes. It's gonna last the entire life of the product. Up here on the hood, it's actually got the sun gator actually implemented into the design of the shirt, but if you don't wanna run the gator, you can just tuck it back in there, and then it's got the 3-panel hood on the top. Long sleeves, they got the cuffs here on the thumb, so keep it over your hands. And then on the back of the shirt, see if I can get to the back of it here, they've actually got, oh, where's that? Right here. They've actually got a small zipper and a zippered pouch, so you can unzip that and you have a little pouch across the back, so you keep your phone, maybe your sun gloves, something like that. Just a great shirt you're gonna need here for when it's hot. Speaking of when it's hot, we got a couple more hats. So, Simms Boonie Cap. Boonie Cap, probably one of the best hats you can wear when you're out there in the sun all day. You're gonna be out there this summer, 15, 16 hours in the sun fishing. Boonie Cap keeps your ears, neck protected from the sun. And then our camera guy's favorite, Kevin can't wait to model this thing. We got the super light sun shield hat as well. So longer bill on this one, so it keeps you protected from the sun, and then has that kind of cape around the outside, keep your neck protected. This is part of Simms Super Light series as well. So anything that's got that super light stamp on it, as you can think, it's ultra, ultra lightweight. I have some of the super light pants, some of the other super light shorts, super light products. They're phenomenal for when it's hot outside. So this one, keep you protected from the sun when you're fishing. Wear early season, you know, archery hunting, something like that. Really cool hat. Last one, if you need a new hoodie, They got their new CX line of hoodies. So there's a couple different colorways. Just a really nice hoodie. It's made out of this super, super soft fleece material. Kangaroo pocket up here, and then it's also got a little stash pocket here on the front as well. So if you live somewhere like us, we're kind of fortunate. You kind of need a hoodie 24/7 if you're going to go off, do some offshore fishing. Even in the summertime, it can be quite chilly in the morning, and you're always going to need a good hoodie. This new CX hoodie, it's not super heavyweight. It's kind of a medium weight, but not going to keep you too warm if it's not crazy chilly in the morning. But like I said, ultra soft on the inside. Got a bunch of different colorways. We've also got a bunch of shirts too. They landed in our other warehouse. We didn't get them here in time, but we got a whole bunch of t-shirts, a bunch of really cool designs with night crawlers on them, Fire Tiger logos, all kinds of stuff here from Simms. So make sure to go check those out on tacklewarehouse.com. That's going to wrap up today's episode of What's New at TW. For more information to purchase any of these products seen here today, make sure to click shop or the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this week's video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, let us know in the comments which one of these products you're most excited about.